If you control your morning, you control your mind. And if you control your mind, you control your life. Every morning, your mind is either being strengthened or slowly worn down. The world does not pause to make sure you feel prepared. So before the noise begins, before the phone lights up, before excuses start forming, you must train your mind. These are 12 life lessons you should remind yourself of every single morning to stay sharp, focused, and unstoppable. Number 1, your first hour decides your mindset. Your mindset. The first hour of your day is more than just minutes passing by. It is the base layer of your mental state. The way you enter the morning quietly determines how you will think, react, and perform for the rest of the day. Most people wake up and instantly hand their mind over to the outside world. Notifications, messages, headlines, other people's problems. Before they even get out of bed, their mind is already scattered, tense, and drained. Disciplined people understand something most never realize. The morning is sacred. When you wake up, your mind is at its most open and impressionable. Whatever you give it first becomes the filter through which everything else is processed. If your first hour is rushed, negative, or chaotic, your mind stays guarded all day. You react instead of responding. You stay busy, but accomplish very little. You feel exhausted without doing anything meaningful. That is why winning the first hour is not a choice. It is a necessity. This is the hour where control must be claimed, not comfort chased. Instead of reaching for your phone, you return to your breath. Instead of scrolling, you allow silence. Even 5 minutes of stillness trains your mind to slow down and become aware. And awareness is power. A calm mind makes clearer decisions, handles pressure better, and stays focused when distractions try to pull it away. This hour is also where discipline is forged. You do not need motivation in the morning. You need structure, simple actions like making your bed, stretching your body, drinking water, or writing one clear intention for the day send a strong message to your brain. I am in control. These small wins create momentum. Momentum builds confidence. Confidence builds consistency. Your first hour should also include a small challenge. Growth never begins in comfort. A short walk, cold water on your face, a few minutes of focused breathing, or reading something that sharpens your thinking. These actions wake up more than your body. So, boo. They awaken your authority over your own mind. You are training yourself to choose effort over ease. Most importantly, the first hour shapes your identity for the day. If you begin as a reactor, you remain one. If you begin as a creator, calm, intentional, disciplined, that identity follows you into every conversation, task, and challenge. The world feels different when your mind is already grounded. You do not need a perfect routine. You need a deliberate one. Even 20 to 30 focused minutes can transform your entire day. Protect that time. Defend it. Because when you control the first hour, you don't chase the day follows you. Remember this. Win the first hour, and your mindset works for you instead of against you. Number 2, discipline is self-respect in action. Discipline is often misunderstood. Many people see it as punishment, restriction, or a rigid way to live. But discipline is actually one of the purest forms of self-respect. It is how you show yourself that your future matters more than your temporary moods. Every disciplined action is a vote for the person you are becoming. Most people live controlled by emotion. When they feel tired, they stop. When they feel bored, they distract themselves. When they feel uncomfortable, they escape. But feelings are temporary, and a life built on temporary emotions is unstable. Discipline creates stability. It is the quiet decision to do what must be done, even when no one is watching and motivation has disappeared. Self-respect is not built through words or affirmations. It is built through standards. When you respect yourself, you stop negotiating with laziness. You stop breaking promises to yourself, Freddy. promises to yourself. So, you stop waiting for the perfect mood. Discipline is the habit of honoring your word to yourself, and every time you do, trust in yourself grows stronger. This is why disciplined people move differently. They do not rely on external validation or constant encouragement. So, their confidence comes from knowing they can depend on themselves. When life gets hard, they do not fall apart because discipline has trained them to remain steady under pressure. Discipline also creates freedom. It may sound backward, but it is true. Fatika. A disciplined mind is not ruled by impulses, cravings, or distractions. It chooses instead of reacting. When you wake up early, train your body, focus deeply, and use your time with intention, you are not restricting yourself. You are unlocking your potential. An undisciplined life feels easy at first, but grows heavy with regret. A disciplined life feels difficult at first, but becomes light with pride. Every disciplined action strengthens your identity. When you show up on days you don't feel like it, your mind learns that comfort is not the goal, growth is. That lesson builds inner strength. Discipline is not about perfection. It is about consistency. Small disciplined acts, reading a few pages, exercising for 10 minutes, focusing deeply for 1 hour, send a powerful message to your subconscious. I am serious about my life. Remember this, no one will ever respect you more than you respect yourself. And self-respect is not built through words or wishes. It is built through disciplined action repeated daily. Number 3, your thoughts become commands. Your mind is always listening. Every thought you repeat is not just an idea. It is an instruction sent to your brain and nervous system. Whether you notice it or not, your thoughts constantly tell your body how to feel, how to act, and what to expect from life. This is why mastering your thoughts is not optional. It is essential. Most people underestimate thoughts because they cannot see them. But invisible does not mean weak. A thought repeated often enough becomes a belief. Beliefs shape decisions. Decisions form habits. And habits build your future. Long before results appear in your life, they exist as patterns in your thinking. When you begin the day thinking, I'm exhausted, I can't handle this, I can't handle. Today will be hard. Your mind accepts it as instruction. Your energy drops. Your focus weakens. You search for reasons to stop instead of reasons to move forward. Not because you lack ability, but because you gave your mind the wrong command. When you choose thoughts like, I am calm, I am focused, I am calm, I will handle whatever comes, your body responds differently. Your posture changes. Your breathing slows. Your awareness sharpens. You don't panic under pressure because your mind has been trained to expect strength instead of chaos. Awareness is the first level of mental power. You cannot control thoughts you do not recognize. Most negative thinking is automatic, learned over years of fear, doubt, and external noise. But the moment you notice a thought, you gain the ability to redirect it. You don't argue with it. You replace it. The mind follows repetition, not logic. Your inner dialogue becomes your inner environment. If your inner world is filled with fear, criticism, and limitation, your outer world will reflect it. You hesitate. You procrastinate. You self-sabotage. But when your inner world is calm, disciplined, and intentional, your actions become clear and decisive. Controlling your thoughts does not mean pretending everything is perfect. It means choosing useful thoughts over destructive ones. Challenges will still appear. Pain will still exist. But instead of asking, why is this happening to me? You ask, what is this teaching me? That single shift changes both your emotional response and your behavior. Your thoughts also shape your identity. The more you repeat, I'm not disciplined, the more your mind obeys. The more you say, I am becoming disciplined, the more your actions move in that direction. Your mind wants to stay consistent with the story you tell it. Remember this truth. You speak to yourself more than anyone else ever will. Make those words intentional. Speak strength. Speak clarity. Speak focus. Because every thought you repeat is not just a comment. It is a command shaping who you become. Number 4. Silence strengthens the mind. In a world that never stops talking, silence is not emptiness, it is space. And in that space, the mind regains clarity. The mind regains clarity. When external noise fades, you begin to hear your own thoughts clearly. You start to notice which thoughts serve you and which ones are simply habits of fear or distraction. This awareness alone creates power. A mind that can observe itself is a mind that can be trained. So is a mind that can be trained. When you sit in silence, even for a few minutes, something important happens. Your nervous system calms down, your breathing slows, your attention returns to the present moment. This is where focus is rebuilt. A noisy mind jumps from one thought to another. A silent mind becomes steady and intentional. That steadiness is what allows you to respond to life instead of constantly reacting to it. Silence also builds emotional strength. Without distractions, emotions rise to the surface. This is why many people avoid silence. They are uncomfortable with what they might feel, but avoiding emotions weakens the mind. Sitting with them without judgment or escape builds resilience. You learn that emotions pass. You learn that discomfort does not control you. This realization creates inner confidence. Great thinkers, leaders, and warriors throughout history valued silence, not because they had nothing to say, but because they understood that clarity is born in stillness. Decisions made in silence are sharper. Words spoken after silence carry more weight. Actions taken from a calm mind are more precise and effective. Silence also sharpens self-discipline. Choosing to step away from constant stimulation, no phone, no music, no scrolling, trains your mind to resist impulse. It teaches patience. It teaches presence. Even 5 to 10 minutes of intentional silence each day strengthens your ability to focus for longer periods and resist distraction. Most importantly, silence reconnects you with your inner authority. When the noise fades, you stop seeking direction from the outside. You begin to trust your own judgment. You recognize your values more clearly. You feel grounded, centered, and less shaken by external chaos. You don't need hours of meditation. You need consistent moments of silence in the morning before the world enters your mind, during the day to reset your focus, at night to reflect and release. Remember this, a noisy mind is easily controlled. A silent mind is powerful. Make silence a daily practice, and your mind will grow stronger, calmer, and unbreakable. Number 5. Pain is proof of growth. Pain is one of the most misunderstood experiences in life. Most people see pain as a signal to stop, to escape, or to turn back. But in reality, pain is often proof that growth is happening. Whenever you stretch beyond your comfort zone, discomfort appears. That discomfort is not your enemy. It is evidence that you are evolving. Nothing grows in comfort. Muscles grow by tearing and rebuilding stronger. Muscles grow by tearing and rebuild. The mind grows by facing pressure, resistance, and uncertainty. Yet, many people run from pain because they believe something is wrong. The truth is something is right. You are challenging limits that once defined you. Pain forces awareness. It brings your attention to areas that need strengthening. When life is easy, the mind becomes lazy. Number 8. Every day is a mental battle. Every day before anything happens in the outside world, a battle begins in your mind. It is not a battle against other people or circumstances. It is a battle between discipline and comfort, focus and distraction, growth and excuse. Whether you realize it or not, you fight this battle every single morning. The moment you wake up, your mind starts negotiating. It tells you to sleep a little longer, delay your goals, avoid discomfort, and choose what feels easy. This voice is not evil. It is natural. It is natural. It is natural. The brain is wired to conserve energy and seek comfort. But if you obey this voice every time, comfort slowly becomes your prison. Winning the mental battle does not require force. It requires awareness. You must recognize that not every thought deserves obedience. Just because your mind suggests something does not mean it is right. Strong minds observe thoughts instead of following them blindly. Most people lose the battle early in the day. They start by checking their phone, reacting to messages, and letting external noise dictate their mood. From that moment on, they are defending all day, distracted, rushed, and mentally scattered. But those who win the morning take control before the world does. The mental battle appears in small moments, choosing to work when you feel lazy, staying calm when you feel irritated, focusing when you feel distracted, continuing when progress feels slow. These choices may seem insignificant, but they shape your identity. You become what you repeatedly choose under pressure. This battle is not about perfection. You will lose rounds. You will make mistakes. Shots. What matters is returning to the fight. Mental strength is built by repeatedly choosing discipline after failure, not by never failing at all. Training the mind is like training the body. You don't become strong by lifting once. You become strong by lifting consistently. Each time you resist distraction, delay gratification, or act with intention, you strengthen your mental muscles. Over time, what once felt difficult becomes natural. The greatest danger is not hardship, it is unconscious living. When you stop paying attention, habits take over. The day runs you instead of you running the day. Awareness brings you back into control. Even a single deep breath can reset your mind and shift the battle in your favor. Understand this. The world will always try to influence your thoughts through media, opinions, fear, and comparison. If you don't train your mind, it will be trained by everything else. This is why mental discipline is no longer optional. It is survival. Remember this truth. You don't need to win every battle perfectly. You need to show up and fight daily. Because every time you choose awareness over autopilot, you strengthen the mind that shapes your